Welcome back. You're just joining us. You're still on the Polity, reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. And now joining us is Emmanuel Ademario from Ondo State, as DG CONYSSA, to, of course, talk about Ondo State. Good afternoon, Ademario.
Good afternoon, Nigerians, and good afternoon, distinguished across the world.
Compliments of the season to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can see the season really brightening your face.
All right, let's get into Ondo State politics proper. As of Wednesday, we lost the former governor, which is, of course, in person of Governor Akeredolu. May so rest in perfect peace. And, of course, that same day, Lucky Aiyedatiwa was sworn in as the new governor of Ondo State, well, according to the 1999 Constitution. But then this has generated lots of back and forth, given that we've had over 5 of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu's people resign. I'm talking about from aides to commissioner, and then outrightly stating that they are loyal to this man even till death. What does this speak for Lucky Aiyedatiwa? That's one question. And two, do you think people would actually trust Lucky Aiyedatiwa with Ondo State fully, given that some persons have even started resigning, and of course the tenure has even started proper?
Well, the truth is Ondo State is mourning at the moment, and on norms. If not for the provision of the Constitution, the swearing in of the acting deputy governor who has been sworn in as the governor wouldn't have taken place. But because there was need to actually quickly occupy that office by the virtue of the Constitution, that is why those activities took place day before yesterday. And we pray that may the soul of the late governor Rotimi Akeredolu son rest in peace, as we are still mourning him for 3 days, as announced by the governor. Going by the question, truth be told, that the governor sworn in during the person of His Excellency Lucky Aiyedatiwa happens to be a gentle young man who is well educated, sound. He knows what to do, how to do, and where to do. He has the leadership charisma. He has that skill to navigate the hurdles that is presently bedeviling the state. He is so equipped that he understands the problem of Ondo State at large. He understands the problem, he understands the solution, he understands how to go about the solution. So it is not about knowing the problem. It is not about knowing the solution, but it is also about how to follow up with the solution to get an effective result for a better state for the citizens of Ondo State at large. And there are some certain persons who will not really trust him because they are not in the same school of thought with him.
Okay. Because
they feel that they cannot be on same vehicles. And that was what drove the idea of impeaching him before now as acting deputy, as acting governor. And we know that Ondo State is in a state of shambles at the moment, because at when the late governor was not on ground, when he was flew out of the country, some set of persons were actually misappropriating the funds of the state at will, and knowing fully well that the governor who was acting governor as at then was not really happy with that, because it was at the detriment of the citizens of Ondo State. Nothing was working for 4 good calendar months. And we thank God where we are. God understands how he has prepared the journey of individuals here on earth, and also knowing well that at a point in time a Messiah must come. You know, even before Moses was born, there were other great people that were born to solve problems at a point in time, even before the era of Moses, who took the Israelites to the promised land. He did not get to the promised land. He saw the promised land, but he did not get there. But the truth is this, that every point in time a Messiah will come. For me as a person, and for as many that keep to the school of thought of His Excellency Lord Ayedatiwa, we believe that he is a Messiah at this point in time, whom God is sending to kind of relieve the pain of the Ondo State citizens at the moment. A lot of persons believe in him. You can say a lot of hybrid brain personalities, technocrats, those in the field of academicians. You can see all of them around him at the moment, trying to see how the drive of Ondo State politics, governance, development, infrastructure can actually come to realisticness. You can see most of them coming around him is because they believe in his person, they believe in his capacity, they believe in what he can offer. So Lord Ayedatiwa, for us, is a newborn child, is the Messiah of this time, is the Messiah of this time for Ondo State. Thank you.
Okay, if you said two things that caught my attention. You spoke about misappropriation of funds, and I remember that a few weeks back, or rather a few months, the House of Assembly, of course, raised an allegation against His Excellency Loki Ayedatiwa as about misappropriation of funds. That's one. Two, you spoke about promised land. In how many months do you think Loki Ayedatiwa can take Ondo State to the promised land, given that even the same election, we have the governorship election happening next year? And speaking about misappropriation of funds, if someone has been accused about doing something, don't you think there'll be trust deficit coming from this House of Reps member, the Assembly General, and then it looks like we might just be looking at more commissioners resigning at the end of the day? And then how do you expect the governor to put things in order in the House before even starts fixing the state in how many months?
Now, I want to let you know that Loki Ayedatiwa has more than 12 calendar months to hand over power to whosoever will come in as the next governor of Ondo State. He will be handing over power in 2025. I want to assure you, for some of us who are very close to this young man, we call him Egbon. He already knows the problem. A known problem is already have solved problem. He understands where to start from. The challenges at the moment is how to bring on board brains that can work with him. The SSG, the deputy governor, and others that could work with him to make Ondo State of our dream work. Now, with the party support, with the support of the statesmen who has Ondo State at heart, I want to assure Ondo State and Nigerians that in the next 4 calendar months, Ondo State will be one of the states every businessman will want to come and invest, because the governor is a businessman. The governor is a politician who understands how to bring investors, how to bring visitors, how to bring foreigners to come and invest in whatsoever he does. So now, the leadership of Ondo State has been handed over to him. Those things he is doing privately that make him to strive well, he will bring them on board to make Ondo State work. But you must also know that in every brain that wants betterment of a state, there must be enemies. This we will not shy away from. But I want to say that you knows how to handle every situation, knows how to handle every problem, know how to handle whatsoever that can his way to be able to proceed the journey to the promised land. And we must know that Ondo State is one of the oil producing states. We don't lack. We have all that it takes to make Ondo State a pride among its counterparts across the country. And the governor knows what to do.
So are you trying to say that, sorry to Bajan, so are you trying to say that what Governor Akeredolu couldn't fix in 7 years, Lucky would be able to sort it out in just few months? Or are we looking at him rerunning again under the flagship of APC, and then you're speaking from that perspective?
Well, I will not allow you to preempt me and preempt the governor.
Okay.
But be it as it may, it is not about years. It is about what you know how to do best to bring results on board. Lucky Ayedatiwa know how to bring results on board, and that is why he had a lot of enemies. And you must also know that it is only a mango tree that has beautiful fruits that people throw stones at, because they have something to get from there. So Lucky Ayedatiwa has that all it takes to bring back Ondo State to the track lane of smooth governance, and him bringing the rightful mind who has the interest of the state at heart goes a very long way to make this success story come to realisticness. And you must also know that what can bait him running in 2025 or running the next governorship race is the level of successes he is able to achieve in the next few months that will bait that. And that won't come from him. That will come from the entire citizens of the state calling him to come and run. He will not come himself to say he wants to run as governor. No, it is the state who sees what he has done. It is the state who sees the input he has made that will say, no, we won't allow you to go just like this. We want you to continue. So these are areas I think are a kind of touch for the now in the issue of him running or he will not be running.
Okay. In the recent visit where Lucky Ayedatiwa visited the deceased widow, that is Governor Akeredolu's wife and of course family, he made mention of building on the Akeredolu's legacy, and we all know that Akeredolu is known as the #1 person when it comes to security. I mean, there's a tight fist he had on Ondo State thereby creating the Amotekun. Do you think that the current governor would actually follow suit in this footstep and be able to protect lives and citizens of Ondo State? That's one question. And two, speaking of which, we had an interview with someone yesterday and they spoke about Lucky's antecedents, and then we could barely find anything apart from him being the deputy governor and of course his impeachment process. So do you think you can feel our viewers at home? I'm sure they're interested, because I heard you made mention of the fact that he's a businessman. So what business are we looking at creating for Ondo State in this case, having him on board? I mean, people are actually looking forward to seeing what he can do, but like our viewers, I'm sure they are of course interested in all of this. Please, can you fill us in?
Now, firstly, you must understand that security is our collective business. Okay. As far as Ondo State is concerned,
that's correct.
It is not just about the Amotekun. Some of us we champion the cause of Amotekun to come to realisticness in Ondo State. We are the forefront. We agitated, and God gave us Amotekun. And I must say this without fear, that the late governor did well in the field of security. In fact, if not for the late governor, Ondo State and Southwest would have been like Borno State, would have been like Zamfara and Plateau. But we thank God that he stood his ground, that he's going to protect lives and property, and he did that to the point of his death. And the person of Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who understands security business and career, who has a lot of friends, who has security companies, who are doing well, who has a kind of gone for different field of security. Sometimes ago, he represented the late governor in NAS Conference Center, and he spoke well when he was brought to the podium to talk. He brought a lot of good ideas on how security can strive, how life and properties can be protected effectively, and all this that he already has in store. He's going to build on what Akeredolu has done, the late governor has done, to make sure that Ondo State is secure, is protected, enemy does not come to take over the land. And this we must also know, that Amoteku commander in Ondo State, who doubled as the SSA to the governor on security, senior special advisor to the governor on security, did very well. And for us, we know for sure, for those that have done well, to make sure Ondo State is protected, he will definitely work with them. Especially the new commissioner of police, he is trying his best, CP Asabi, he is doing wonderfully well. The director of DSSS, the commander civil defense, who has always been everywhere. In fact, I make bold to say that with the life of the civil defense commander Ondo State, commandant Ondo State, he will do wonderfully well. Yes, Lucky Aiyedatiwa will do wonderfully well, because the civil defense commander understand that Ondo State must be protected from enemies not to infiltrate it. So with those like minds, the brigade commander too is a wonderful person who has the interest of life and property being protected. So with all these people supporting him, I want to assure Ondo State.
Can you hear us? Well, looks like we lost him. Let's quickly go on this short break, and when we return, the interview would continue. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still on the Polity, reaching you live from the nation's capital. We've just listened, or rather, we've watched the inauguration ceremony of Lucky Aiyedatiwa that happened on Wednesday. And something that caught my attention in that oath of office he took was saying he wouldn't allow his personal interest to interfere in governance. We still have Ademario Emmanuel, DG CONYSSA, with us. Welcome again. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for welcoming me back.
Okay, all right. The governor said something that caught my attention at the inauguration session. He said he wouldn't allow his personal interest to interfere in his official decision. Now, given the fact that he's had lots of back and forth with the House of Rep members, how do you think this is going to affect Ondo State politics and, of course, moving forward of Ondo State generally?
Now, he's having issue with the House of Assembly, and the issue he had with House of Assembly is not that the House of Assembly members had problem with him in person, but because some cartels and cabals needed him off. So now that those cartels are out of government, they don't have an option than to work with him. And to be candid with you, the 10th Assembly we have in Ondo State, they are wonderful people. They are wonderful people. They want the interests of the state. So definitely, if the governor should bring something productive that is developmental and of the interests of Ondo State citizens, I want to assure you that the State of House of Assembly and the Speaker in particular will key to it. We 100% key to it. So now we must also know that we must have these individual differences in governance, which is personal interest. But the fact remains that the person of Lucky Aiyedatiwa does not and will not in any way or forms want to bring personal ills to Ondo State governance. So, and he will never want any to influence his activities to make Ondo State a pride among its counterparts across the country. So on that ground, for him to have said it openly, that is what it is, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Look ahead at why, if you are close to him, he's a man of his word. He does not change. If he said this is where I'm going, that is where he's going. And should I surprise the citizens? He's somebody that even when he is right, if he's asked to say I am sorry, he will humbly do it. If you remember, during a crisis, he was asked to apologize. Despite the fact he did not offend anyone, he still came out open to say I am sorry. That is his kind of person. That is to tell you, this person have the interests of the state at heart, because he needed the state to move on. He needed the state to move forward. There was need for him to submit himself to the will of the people, and for him to subject himself to that I am sorry.
Okay, I like the fact that you did justice to that, but then let's move on to the next question before we move to Plateau State. My final question on those states will be the issue of continuity we have in governance. You would agree with me that over time, once there's a switch in governance, either from one person to another, we do not see continuity in most projects because everybody wants to bring their own projects on board. Are we looking at having continuity with Lucky Aiyedatiwa as the governor of Ondo State? That's one question. Number two question, we've had more local governments added to the 18 local governments we have in Nigeria, and of course the court has said you cannot possibly pick chairman over that. How do you think this is going to affect Ondo State generally, and given that most times in Nigeria we do not have respect for the rule of law?
Now, we must know that in continuity, there are projects that are visible, that are meant for the betterment of the state. There are projects that are meant to siphon the treasury of the state. So projects that are meant to improve the livelihood of the state, it is a known fact that the governor is going to build on it, is going to make sure that these projects see the light of the day. But for those projects that are meant to empty the treasury of the state, I want to let us know, the person of Lucky Aiyedatiwa will not allow it. Many of them know this. That was why they needed him to be impeached. That was why they want him to be impeached, so that their own person will come on board, who will make sure that the business as usual continue. And now, if you observe, before the death of the late governor, immediately he was sworn in as the acting governor, he actually tried all he could to make sure that the treasury of the local government is well protected. Is well protected. And he did all he could to make sure that nobody entered into that treasury to start removing money at will. And that is to tell you that there is hope for the 18 local government of the state. A lot of things were done illegally, and I know when his cabinet comes on board, they are going to put things right. There's going to be a lot of restructuring. There's going to be a lot of new faces coming on board, bringing all they have in development to be. So now, you must also know that a lot of things were done. The then acting governor, who is now the governor, was not fully carried along, was not properly carried along, both in the swearing in of the LCDA and the caretaker chairman. He was not on ground. He was not allowed to partake. And I'm not afraid to say this, that the state was under the governorship of Arabaye and Co. So now we must also know that is it a crime if a new governor emerged that Those that are there will not begin to resign. Why are they resigning? Why are they running? Where are they running to? Has anybody asked them to resign? Because they felt that their activities are not too clean. And that is why they have to quickly shift ground and said it is not time for us to go one side. But be it as it may, we must also make it clear that what Ayédàtiwa is bringing on board and in line with the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of making sure that the local government funds, the local government allocation is not being messed up, it's not being misused by the state. The person of Lucky Ayédàtiwa is going to try all he could to make sure that the local government chairman has liberty to judiciously make use of the funds of the state for the betterment of the local government. The local government chairmen are going to now sit down and discuss what the local government allocation should be used for.
Okay, now let's move to the next topic, which is, of course, analyzing recent happenings on the policy. We cannot end the polity today and this year without acknowledging the Plateau massacre, which is actually a sad one. The Plateau killings has actually been something that has generated so much heated discussions on the polity. And as funny as it is not funny, but this is the second time this is happening in 1 year. And then there's been talks, I mean, according to the Nigerian Tribune today, it said human lives seem to mean nothing anymore in Nigeria. Do you agree with that? Are you there? Hello, can you hear us? Okay, all right. It looks like this is where we wrap it up for today's polity. And do well to stay tuned to KAFTAN TV for more updates. I remain Messi Babajide. See you same time, same station next year. Wishing compliments of the season.